Hey guys, this is Shane and welcome to my Curator of the Lost channel. Today, hey, I'm reviewing another great week of book sales. It's kind of, a lot of times I buy stuff and I show you what I bought and kind of comps for it, but it's nice to sprinkle in some videos of, hey, here's what really sold and what it sold for, right? So I had another awesome week. I did a video like this last week and I sold like $550 worth of stuff. This week, I beat that. It was like $875 worth of stuff on eBay. It's like 16 items. It made my price, my average sales price for the week, like 54 bucks, which is, I wish I could do this all the time. This is not, that doesn't happen all the time, but I had some high dollar stuff that sold this week, so it's pretty cool. So I just want to show it to you. It's great to learn, to see what, actually worked. Some things where I took some best offers, I always have that turned on. Everything I sell on eBay, I just do fixed price with best offer turned on. And sometimes I send offers as well. It works good for me. I don't do the auctions or anything like that. So anyway, before I jump in, I'll say thanks. Hey, we're closing in on 5,000 viewers or subscribers. That's crazy, right? So you guys keep watching. I'll keep doing this. So we'll see what happens. And hey, I look forward to hearing what you've sold recently that was awesome too. Your great scores, and it it's fun when you have a good week like this. So here's what I sold. So the first thing, this antenna book, Balanas. Actually, this was a book I used. I had this book in college when I took antennas. It's actually a great book. This was like the first edition of it, but it was really pristine condition, and it sold for like 25, 30 bucks. So nice. Here's one that I actually picked this up, I think, for 50 cents. Didn't know anything about it. This chemistry of energetic materials. I've had this one I've had this one on my shelf for a year, but it sold 25 bucks. Here's a recent one I got, the Foxfire 5. This sold for $13. So these always sell if you can get them for a good price. Don't overpay for them though. A lot of people want to pay, want $3 or $4 or $5 each for them. I wouldn't buy them for that, but I got this one, I think, for $1.50, and it sold for 13, so good. Now here was a good score. I bought this, I think, for $4, paid up for my library, but this was a history book on Virginia, Lunenburg County, and it was a single volume, and this sold for 90 bucks. So, great. Yeah, I paid $3 for this one. Still had the price in there. So I love history type stuff like this, county histories. And evidently this was originally, this book by Bell was originally done in 2 volumes. And so this one volume is kind of unique. So 90 bucks. All right, here's one. These sold for 50 bucks. It's these huge, here's the second volume. Spanish dictionary. I paid $1 each for these. This is so big, right? Sold these for 50 bucks. It's funny, when I bought these, the guy where I bought them, took them up to the counter and he goes, "Por qué?" And I just looked at him and I was like, for paperweights. I didn't tell him I was going to resell them. And he was like, okay. So he wondered why I was buying Spanish dictionaries. But these sold for 50 bucks and I paid $1 each for them. Nice. Another technical book that sold. I got this at the 25-cent sale just a few weeks ago. This optical shop testing. It's good. Hey, you'll notice my tags in here. So I have, my handwriting's awful, but S55. This is for my stack 55. When I have a lot of technical books, I don't worry about putting them on the shelves. I have a stack in the floor. I should do a video on when stacks are good, right? And I just put a little tag in my listing that I know it's in the stack, and it's book number 55. And I just throw the technical books in there, and it's easy to find when they're all the same. So that's when stacks are good. I did the video on the long tail and used the Jimmy Carter pins. Well, these are getting ready to go out. These sold for $13 or $14, like $2 each, the different pins. I love the one here with Rosalind. Look, I want to take them out and drop them all, but got the Rosalind for First Lady. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that's just the gift that keeps on giving. They just keep selling. Couple of paperbacks. This Mike Resnick. I just picked these up. I had just seen them together and thought it was interesting. I didn't pay much for them, maybe 50 cents each or something. They sell for like 14 bucks for the two, 13 or 14. Warhammer, man, whenever I get Warhammer, I've said this before, Warhammer books, this is the small trade paperback. Nemesis, this was like a $13 book. The larger trade paperback ones, they can sell for $25, $30, $40. If I get these at the right price, I always buy them. So Warhammer's good. All right, here's a pretty cool one. Drag racing. Got this one coming back up on a road trip. When I worked down in Florida a couple months ago. Finally listed it and sold for $34. And there is the secret, right? If you don't list it, it will not sell. So I listed this, it sold within a week. So nice. Okay, so here's some of the, the box of toys that my buddy gave me. Video, if you haven't watched that, go back. It's just like a week or so ago. The mystery box he had in his garage. I listed the watch robot, sold for 30 bucks. Then I listed the Valkyrie Robotech exoskeleton parts. I asked 120. A guy offered me 105 like within 2 hours. I just accepted it. So these are going to go out. They're light enough. They'll go first class mail, I think. But yeah, 105 bucks for these Robotech parts. So if you haven't watched the video on the toy box, I thought it was pretty cool. I say toy box. It was the priority mailbox that had my buddy's some old toys that he didn't even know what was in there anymore, and he gave them to me because he was going to throw them away. And there's a recent video on it, but that was one thing. So just out of that right there, 135 bucks. So, all right, here was some stuff that we get into some of the other. This thing here is I've talked about these in a video not too long ago. These the planes, the patented planes. It's a volume 1, volume 2, and I wasn't sure how to price these. I ended up selling them separately, and I was asking just $100 each for them. I did a little bit of research, Terapeak and things, and a couple had sold higher, but there were some that sold like around 70. I asked $100 each. The same person made me an offer for $150 for both of them, and so plus shipping because they're for both of them because they're heavy. So I accepted it. So these two together made me $150. So that was a big score. Then, actually, I've already mailed this. I'll do the pop-up. I had bought this Morse code, the little Morse code piece of Harchester trainer. And there was a book. And I was trying to decide how to sell those. And I had some people giving feedback on that and said, yeah, just list them together. And I thought, yeah, that's the best thing. So I listed those together. I was asking 120 for them together. And because the device seemed to routinely bring between 50 and 70, and the book, looked like it was, there were some people were all asking like $100, but they were maybe selling for 40. But anyway, I put them together, asked 120, and a guy offered me 100, 105 for them, so I sold them to him, and so that was another $100 sale. Then I had this honor bound, this subject, military rifles, military, equipment usually sells good for me. But this is a great book. $150 for this book. So that's a big win. And then the last thing I had this set of, they're not a set, but it was Skylab books. I've gotten these at an estate sale not too long ago. There were 5 of them. I just decided instead of trying to sell them separately, I put them in one lot. They sold for $36. So glad just to, made good profit on them, turn them over to somebody to enjoy them. And again, they sold pretty quick once I listed them. So, I had like 16 books, and I had some, it's kind of good for look at this math, the average, right? I had an average of over $54 an item, but, I had some $12, $13 items in this week, but then I had some big sales, right? I had $100 Robotech. I had the $150 machine gun book, and then I had the planes sold for $75 each. So I had some really high dollar books, and then I had several that were in that 25 to 30 range. So it was kind of a good mix. But the point is that it all adds up. If you're buying something for 50 cents or $1 and you can sell it for 12, 13, 14, 15 bucks, that's pretty good. But we like that average to be higher. And it doesn't take many of these high dollar books to really push that average through the roof. So anyway, I had, again, like $875 in sales this week. Now I just gotta pack them, ship them, get them out here, and list some more. And that's what I'm really seeing turn around. I've been listing more consistently, and I've got some good stock that I found. I've just been listing it and getting it out there, and whatever it's, if the eBay algorithm or just people are looking, it's just getting good feedback. So good sales. So anyway, that's it. That was what I found for the week, and what I sold for the week. Great week. Love it. In 2 weeks I've made, I've had like $1,400 of sales in 2 weeks. So that's a good time. So it's not always that way. And remember, if you're doing this and you're not, it's ebb and flow. And I show you this just to show the success and what can happen, and to show you what works. But if you're not having the same success, don't get discouraged. Just buy quality stuff, list consistently, and it'll work out for you too. It's it's all a numbers game of getting your inventory built up and just buying quality books, good, interesting books, and it'll work out. So anyway, see cool, buy cool. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.